Hi, I'm Random Trashy, welcome to the channel. So I'm going to give you a rundown today of my Tokyo Marui Scar L. I have got all the accessories and stuff on here. This isn't really going to be a plain unboxing of what this gun's going to come like out the box. I have got it with all my accessories and everything on. Now people have asked me why I've swapped over to this and why I'm not using my 416 anymore. I am using the 416, I've got it here. I just wanted a backup, and obviously one that is both from TM. I absolutely love the TM guns. I've been absolutely blown away by this. I've used it so much now that I wanted to get another one just as a backup. Now people have asked me why I've gone for the Scar L over the Scar H, and it was purely down to the magazine selection. So I know a few friends of mine that have got Scar H's and they have an absolute nightmare with finding rigs and finding pouches and stuff for the magazines, and it's always a bit of a pain for them if they have to swap between the M4 platform and the Scar H. With the Scar L, they both run on TM M4 magazines, so it means I don't have to swap out my rig. That's really important for me, especially for a quick change, just being able to swap weapons. If we are going tight CQB, I can jump down to the 416. If we're doing patrolling or we're doing anything that's a little bit more rural, that's what this gun is going to be used for. As you can see, like I mentioned previously, there are some accessories on here, and I've made some slight changes to the gun that I will go through now before I get into any details about the Scar L. On the top here, you can see that I've got the 416D Tokyo Marui suppressor on here. That's purely because I used the Knights Armament one on the 416. Also use the 416 with a tracer. So because I'm not planning to use the tracer on here, I've got the Scar L flash hider on the front that does have the quick threading, so I can use the TM suppressor. I'm just going to screw that back on. Moving down the side here, I've got the Surefire replica vampire head. The vampire head on this, or the vampire torch, is actually the torch that comprises of 3 settings. You've got off, you've got white light, and you've also got IR light on this as well. Very, very handy if you're a night vision user. You can very quickly swap between having a bright white light and then a very bright IR light. Now there is an IR illuminator on the Element torch. The only issue with it is it uses one of these filters, which means you get a little bit of white light bleed around the outside, and it's not particularly bright. This is extremely bright. It is like a IR flood lamp that you'd see for hunting, and if you are going into extremely dark conditions, this is very handy. Haven't got a pressure pad on the back of here. I've got the tactical pressure switch on the back, and the reason for that, if I bring my gun up, it's very easy for me to reach underneath, be able to flick that on and off with this index with my thumb, and then if I actually swap shoulders again, it's very, very easy for me to be able to press that with my thumb rather than having to worry about any cables or switches. So again, it's just very easy on both sides of the body to be able to access. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not running a pressure on that, and I do actually like this tail cap. It's the same reason why really I've gone for the LA5 from Element. This is the version 2 one. I think it's called the 419. Don't hold me to that, but it's something like that. It's the green laser version. It's got IR on here as well. Not really impressed with this, but I will go into a full review of this unit and then compare it to the GMP D-barrel that I run on the 416. The main reason why I do like this is this big button in the middle here. Again, it's very easy to access on both sides. I can run my thumb over the top like so and be able to engage that button, and then obviously if I swap shoulders again, I can very easily be able to get down sights and also get my thumb up on top of that button on top to engage the laser. The bottom here, we've got this Magpul front angled grip. Again, I run that on both my guns. I've got it on the 416 here, and I've also got it again on the Scar. Now, running down the top of the rail, one of my favourite things about the Scar is this one-piece monolithic rail. You can run accessories all the way down this. Up top, where we've got the Optronics L3 EoTech. It's the XPS. I don't know if I get along with it yet. I've tested it out a few times. I'm still not 100% sure if I like it. Worst comes to the worst, I'll buy another M4 comp to go on top of here, and I'll run the same setup, almost exactly the same between the 416 and this Scar. That's pretty much it for accessories. Other than this, very, very minor little detail. The handle that comes as standard on this weapon is about 1 inch wide, so it comes out to about where my finger is. The annoying thing is, if you're moving grips around quickly, it's very easy with the recoil system for that to hit your hand. So they do a much stubbier version of this bolt catch. Yes, you can swap it over to the right hand side, The reason why I haven't done that, again, is for when I'm switching shoulders. Naturally, where my thumb and the top of my thumb is here, it's going to hit that bolt catch. So I've kept it on the left side where my hand is predominantly further forward. So if I just swap around, you can see that my hand is much further forward and I've got a lot more clearance here just from the way that I grip the weapon. So I've put those accessories on there. Other than that and the LiPo conversion, this is completely standard. I absolutely love about this weapon is the amount of adjustment on it. So on the right side here, we've got the cheek rest adjust, so you can bring this up and down this top section of the rear stock. You can have it right up or right down. I actually have it on the middle setting, which is nice for me. We've got a foldable stock on here, and then we've also got 6 settings for how far you want the stock out. For me, 5's about perfect. Again, nice thing about this is you can fold that stock round and lock it back on itself, which is good for a few things. One, storage. It really does bring the overall length of this gun right down. You're never going to actually fight with the gun like that, but it is just a handy storage thing. It means that I can get this gun inside my pelly crate. Just a nice handy addition. The nice thing, ambidextrous controls. We've got the safety, and then we've got single shot, and we've got fully automatic. Really, really impressed with the rate of fire from this. Another nice thing, we've got magazine release on the right side, which is pretty traditional to all guns, but then also we have it on the left side as well, that magazine release. So from both sides you are able to drop the mag if you swap hands or anything like that, and I know that that is one of the key reasons that people absolutely love the Scar platform, is for that ambidextrous capability. We've got the bolt catch there, which obviously is a full working bolt catch with all of the TM Recoil Shock series. So when you run out of BBs in your magazine, the gun will actually stop firing. You can then remove the magazine, put the new magazine in, and you have to hit that bolt catch before you can start firing again. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but after you've used these weapons for a long period of time, it is a really, really nice feature. The extra bit of barrel length to this was one of the main reasons why I'm going to use this as a rural gun over my 416 for more urban. I've been asked quite a few times as to why I run suppressors on all my weapons. It's just become something that I've done over the last few years. I started running a suppressor on my GMP and noticed that there was quite a big difference with that weapon on the amount of noise that the gun made. Now, it's never going to be silent, and that's really what you do not get from the TMs because of that metallic clank that you get from the recoil system. So they're never going to be silent, but what you do find is it takes a lot of the ring away from the sound. What I found is when I'm getting shot at with some traditional airsoft weapons, you kind of have an insight as to where that is coming from. And that's normally from the higher pitched noise low, rather than that kind of dull thud. And I think that's why the snipers can be so hard to detect when someone's shooting at you with a sniper rifle, that low kind of muffled noise that you get from the cylinder sliding forward. Whereas with an airsoft, they have quite a higher pitched noise from the AEGs, and I've found that this just takes some of that noise away. Again, it definitely doesn't make it silent, but what it does do is just take away some of that metallic sort of clank. So I've started running this one on here. The TM suppressor is actually one of the best for reducing noise, but also this nice version is very, very good as well, and this is the foam filled version, so it really does help take some of that noise away. I will be chronoing this and doing all the traditional tests with it, and I'll probably bring that in another video. To be completely honest, it's sub 300 FPS. I've tested the range out already, and it was clocking in contacts at about 65 meters. That's rough. You know, between 60 and 70 meters, it was making contact. Now, the contact at the target end is not hard, but if you do have honest players, they will obviously take that hit. It is enough to register, and the key thing I found about it is just so damn accurate. Same as my 416, you know, it really will make some accurate shots if you need it to. If you've got a good optic and it's dialed in well, then you can make some really accurate shots with this. So I'm super impressed with this. If you do want to pick up any of the TM line, the best thing you can do, especially being in the UK, is head over to Camo Raids. Again, the guys over there found me one of these because I know at the time they were quite scarce to get hold of, and you know, got it out to me as soon as possible. A fantastic experienced shopping with them. They've always been really good, they're friendly, they're helpful, and they get shit done. When you want something ordered, it's out, you know, within the next day, or, you know, it's going to be delivered the day after. So absolutely awesome service from the guys over at Camo Raids. I will be doing some night vision footage of this, showing you how this laser works at night. I won't be doing any gameplay or anything with it, but I'll definitely be showing you, you know, how that laser works, what the green laser looks like through night vision, what the IR laser looks through night vision, how then the flood on the element compares to the one on the torch, and all those sorts of things. If you do have any questions about the Tokyo Marui Scar L, please feel free to drop them in the comments box below. Hopefully I've taken you through everything in enough detail. Just very quickly, one thing to note, that the upper on this weapon is metal and the lower is polymer, as well as the stock being polymer as well. I know a few people thought that these are a full metal gun. They're not, but I will tell you now that this is considerably lighter than the 416, even with all the accessories on. So, you know, handheld, you can really tell the difference in the weight, even though the Scar is a much bigger weapon, and the 416 is, you know, got a lot of accessories on it as well. This is way lighter. So that was one of the key things I do like about the Scar, is definitely the weight. So guys, if you have any questions, comments, feedback, anything like that, please put them in the comments box below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all soon.